is Underwood1989, and this is going to be my video about which tools I use when I work with polymer clay. In my last video, I just showed you guys my little craft station. So let's just get started. Over here, I keep my scissors that I use, and I don't use these a lot. The only time I've used these is when I've made a flower, and I gotta use my cell phone because my camcorder batteries are completely shot. But let's see if I can, without knocking my phone all over the place. When you are using polymer clay, let's just, I'll roll it into a ball real quick. And ignore my disgusting fingernails. When you are using polymer clay and you want to make like a flower, this here does wonders for me because I don't really get the shapes down. Now this isn't, of course, the end result, but you can see that it separates the polymer clay so that you could make each one of these an individual flower petal, and you can still work with it and everything. It just kind of separates it, you know. But I use my scissors for a couple different things, so those are always good to have. This is my Sculpey gloss glaze, and I'm actually trying to make my way to the store, Michael's, today, to get some liquid Sculpey, but every time I've been up there or called, and they're like 15 minutes away, so I called first and they're sold out, so can't do that. Now, since I don't have the liquid Sculpey, I've been doing a lot of research on how to make homemade liquid Sculpey, and I've been doing a little bit of it. It turns out alright. I can show you something that I did with the liquid Sculpey, and that was this little cherry pie. And as you see on the top, that's all the liquid Sculpey, the red you see drizzling down. But the only thing is I had to bake this twice. 2 full-length times of 15 minutes. So it was in the oven for 30 minutes. And until I glossed it, it was kind of, because the paint that I used in this was the oil paint I had. I tried acrylic, but it wouldn't dry. But I used the oil paints, and until I glossed it, I was transferring paint onto my fingers. So I would recommend, if possible, just go get some liquid Sculpey like I'm going to do, because, I mean, it works great when you mix it with oil, but at the same time, if you mix paint in with it or chalk, it doesn't seem to want to dry, and you got to literally bake it 2-3 times. These are all my paintbrushes. I use these here and these smaller ones here a lot when it comes to putting chalk on my polymer clay creations, because these are smaller, firm brushes. And I also use these here when I want to get a wide range of chalk. But I just have different sizes. I've even got, you know, cheap ones from Walmart. I've got this paintbrush here that cost me $30 frickin' that I've never even used. I don't even know why I bought it. And that was at a flea market too. That's bad. But in here, I've got my scalpel, which is just by X-Acto, and I've also got a pack of just different variety blades. I've got my razor blade that I use, and here is just extra finding clippings off the like head pins and stuff. I reuse them. And I've got a thing of toothpicks that I got for like $1 at the dollar store. And this is just a piece of a broken pin that I use to punch holes out of stuff with clay. So I use a lot of stuff that you can find around the house. A lot of stuff around the house, actually. And then in this drawer, I've got my brooches. And I get these little packs at Walmart for like $2. They're over in like the jewelry and the beading area. But I have my brooches, I've got my eye pins and head pins, I've got my earring findings, which I haven't started using yet, and these packs are all $2, and you see there's, what, 42 pieces in here? Now, I am going to get a ball tool, but in the meantime, until I got my paycheck, I kind of did it the home way, which, it was alright. It was okay. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you have no ball tool and really need it for like just one project or something, this is something you could totally do. This is just toothpicks that I made polymer clay balls to go on the end, and then I super glued them. And this little green one you see here, that's actually one of those BBs from those little pellet guns that, you know, little boys play with all the time. I've got these things all over my house. So I figured, hey, I could use that. But these worked alright. The only thing is if you do use a polymer clay ball, try to glaze it first, because I noticed if you don't glaze it, and then you start going in and, you know, rotating, the clay sticks to the ball. So, definitely want to get that taken care of. This is a sandwich toothpick that I got out of a sandwich when I ordered some food somewhere, and it just works real great because it's really long and very sturdy. So, this is a paper clip that I just turned to where I could put it on my finger to have more control over doing like very small details. It's kind of, you can kind of hold it like there and put as little or as much pressure as you want. This is a multi-tool that I got in the beading area at Walmart. It's a pair of jewelry pliers with the wire cutter in them. And also this little flat piece right here is great when you're putting jump rings back together. You know, you can just squeeze them together. This is great. It was $5 at Walmart. Very, very well worth it. I'm happy I got this and not two separate pieces of tools. This is a junk toothbrush I use to put texture on bread and, you know, different things like that, cakes and stuff. I just got some super glue. I use this to put the findings in my polymer clay charms, like the little lasp and stuff, these here. Because I've noticed if you put those in and then just bake it, half the time they come right out. So I put super glue on the end of the finding when I shove it into the clay. And I've noticed it hasn't really gone anywhere else since. I've got these tools here that came with my packs of polymer clay. And I go to Walmart and just to get, my basic colors, I get the little pack of Sculpey oven baked clay. Sorry, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. But these are the tools that came with it. There's one that has a knife on one end and like a little, I don't know what you want to call that. And then one has a cutter on the end, and it has the kind of like little point tool at the end of that as well. I've seen other ones that have the ball tool, so I can't quite find those yet. And then I got this little container at Walmart, which I absolutely love. It was like less than $1. And it's perfect for holding different jump rings. Like in here, I've got the one that has the two wires on it, if that makes sense. So it's like double. And then I've got like huge jump rings. I've got the little metal cylinder shit. I can't remember what that's called. Then I've got really tiny jump rings. And some extra findings and clips and stuff. So I use this. This is amazing. I love this little container. And if you get more than one, if you see these little notches up here, you can start stacking them. So I'm going to get another one so I can start stacking it, because I still got these that I got to put away too. So that's what I've got in that drawer. And that's probably my favorite drawer full of tools. Down here I've just got some miscellaneous stuff. I've got a bottle cap to one of the Stewart's pops. This is great for punching out pie crust. This is like perfect for punching out pie crust. I just roll out my clay, push this down, push it, and then what I do instead of pulling it off is, here, I'll try and show you. Sorry, my finger kind of, I gotta set my phone up because my camera is dead and I can't quite do this one-handed. I'm just gonna use this Altoids container to set this on top of, but this is not the size piece you would want to work with, but just as an example, it'll work. Hopefully you can see that, but I just take this and I'll just move it backwards a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, and I just push it down in the clay, and then I pull all the scrap away, and as you see, you're left with a very nice ridge. But what I do also is, after I punch it out, I pull it over a little bit off the edge, and I'll pull it back like this. I'll roll it back up over it, so that way when I pull this off, I have the pie crust going up, if that makes sense. So if you have like a bottle cap or even a beer cap Beer caps would work too. I would suggest holding on to it and seeing what you can do with it, because I've been able to do a lot of stuff with this, and it's like a really good size too to work with. And then I just got a regular bottle pop cap. This I just used to punch out circular holes. I've got a fingernail file that I use occasionally, not very often, but if I make something that's kind of jagged around the edges, I'll file it down. This actually came out of my cigarette pack. I'm just going to use it for, like, if I make a candy bar or something, I've got some little foil to use, because it's some really nice foil. And it's got some paper on the back, so I can put super glue on it. And this I got out of my pina colada at the Applebee's I went to the other day, is one of those little swords that they put the cherry on. So I don't know what I'm going to use it with, but I love these little swords, so I figured what the heck, might as well just throw it in the drawer. I've also got braiding cords that I got from Walmart. There was 3 different colors on this pack, and I was making polymer clay beads, but I stopped doing that until I'm getting a bead taper, because my beads weren't coming out right. And I was wasting a lot. I actually have them right there, if you can see them. They just didn't come out right. And then I've got my chalks here, which I love. I've had this set forever. It was an entire set that I bought when I got my easel and paints and this and that at Hobby Lobby. Which, come to find out, the only craft store that I have left around where I live is Michael's, because Hobby Lobby shut down. Screw you, Hobby Lobby. They're my favorite store. But yeah, I guess it'll be alright. But anyways, and then this is where I keep my polymer clay in here. Cookie cutter, which I will not be using again. And the last thing that I use sometimes is I will use a palette when I want to make homemade translucent Sculpey, which I would highly recommend you not do unless you really can't get to the store or really don't have the money to get it, which I called today to see if they have it, because they've been getting sold out, and it's like less than $3, especially if you have one of their 40% off coupons for Michael's. But I wouldn't suggest trying it at home. It's great for last minute, like bonding, but like if you make a mistake, but I won't do it again. But I use this sometimes, and I also have an entire thing of Sharpies that I use when I need to make a face that's too small for polymer clay. I'm throwing markers everywhere, but this is full of just different colors. And then I've got the last thing I use, okay, second to last thing I use is my oil colors and my watercolors. I try to stay away from the watercolors, but I do use the oil ones and the acrylic ones. But this is just a cheap kit that all came together. There's like 50 pieces in it, and it came with the art bag and everything. I also use this. This is one of those compass things. It's great when you just want to do basic measurements. Like you need a circle that's exactly an inch. Other than that, I don't use it because, you know, I'm not in geometry class. But anyways, and the last thing that I'm working on right now is an Easter basket. I know it's way past Easter, but I had a bunch of leftover pink and black clay, so this is definitely going to be the back. I tried to see if I can get all of this to kind of blend together with a toothpick, just to kind of make it look like it's weaved, and it looked like crap. So that's going to be the back. And I only have this finding in here to keep the basket handle from breaking until I'm done with it. But that's just a bunch of white scrap clay I put down in there. I'm going to fill it with grass and eggs and candy and stuff like that. So, but the basket has been baked. Another great tool for you guys to use is an old plate. I actually got this plate. The neighbor moved out and left a whole bunch of stuff, so I grabbed this plate out of a trash can. Yes, I grabbed it out of the trash can. But it works great. I can glaze on it. You can see I can paint on it, and I don't have to worry about transferring stuff from clay to food. Even though the polymer clay is toxic free or non-toxic, I still don't want to do the cross-contamination. But well, that's everything I use. If you guys have any questions about if there's a certain thing you want to do and want to know what I use to do that or anything like that, just leave a comment. I'm trying to do what I can to help everybody else and, you know, help myself at the same time. I'm still new to this myself, so I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm watching a ton of videos to learn as well. So this is kind of pretty much just what I consider a learning experience for everybody. You guys get to see what I have, and I get to see what you guys have, and maybe we can come up with some more tools to use to save money on our wallets, because, you know, like I said, if you don't have the money to go get a ball tool, this will work. Just glaze it. But yeah, just leave a comment, let me know what you guys think, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys. Stay tuned.